Hello guys, welcome back. Now in today's video we're going to talk about why you are doing zero damage or you feel like you're doing zero damage. Everybody else seems to be flying to the next difficulty. Now this is due to a lot of reasons, and even if you're a high level like me, doesn't mean that you're gonna be able to clear every content immediately at like L3, L4, L2, L1, right? Maybe you're still stuck on like Nightmare 1 barely clearing, or maybe you need to clear a Green Pursuit boss and you can't. And now there are a lot of reasons. Yes, one of that is sadly certain characters are stronger than others in certain content, understandably, but for example if you don't have Real Mocha, you are kinda handicapped when it comes to clearing high level of Doki Doki, right? So that's just an example, but this happens multiple times. However, you can sort of circumvent it depending on the boss, but if you are not using the intended like blasting character, now you have to pay attention to like everything else, and you might not have the resources to do that, etc. Or maybe like it kind of snowballs into oblivion. So in that case, just give it a little bit of days of farming and preparing and checking everything, okay? We're gonna go through a list of stuff that you might be not doing or you might be neglecting. That is the reason why, or one of the reason why, you are doing zero damage. Now, some of these things you probably know, but you're maybe neglecting. So I will be saying everything, and if there is something that you don't do or you didn't do enough, you can just fix that, okay? First, the party composition. Now, the party composition is really interesting because this means like what are you using on the encounter. Now, when you are playing an encounter and you're trying to kill something, let's say you're doing Terror Marathon, right? You're doing Terror Marathon and you want to clear Nightmare 3. Now, first of all, what are you playing, right? You need to check the level. The level of the encounter. You want to check the element. I don't remember how green is called. I'm gonna call green. I think it's Havoc. No, I think it's Hollow. Whatever, it doesn't matter, right? Green. So you want to have a red character if you can, or a red team. Well, not necessarily team, but like a character that does damage. So the party composition, I'm talking about like maybe a sustain, maybe a heal, like a tank or some sort. We don't really have a tank besides Tiamat. So mainly the damage dealers plus some sort of character that can support. You can use a Freya, you can use a Mio if you have her, you can use a Lily, you can use a Marvel, you can use Grey, you can use a lot of characters. Like some of the characters, even like Leon, have something that's called like turn meter steal, which is basically the equivalent of just pushing back the enemy, removing their progress through the bar when they actually act. So the more you push them back, or the more you buff yourself, or the more you debuff your enemy. So these characters need to be in your team. I don't know if you are using any, but if you are not, if you're just doing full DPS, and I don't know why I'm now clearing, that could be one of the reasons why certain bosses incentivize a certain type of playstyle. For example, Nico Nana is unkillable if you let her play. If you don't let her play, and if you keep pushing her back and you put your speed value way above hers, so maybe like pushing her back, giving her like no speed, like speed down, etc., you will deal more damage. The closer she is to you, or the more she goes, the faster she is, the less damage you're gonna deal. So this will teach you in time these type of different approaches to the game. But Nico Nana is level 35. You unlock her at level 35. So not many people are here yet. So this is something that maybe the devs should have done earlier with like different bosses, make them a little more mechanic oriented, instead of like, oh, do you have enough damage? Because then once you don't have enough damage, now you need to read and see what the boss does. Now, which is one other point, like what is the boss doing? Sometimes, like when it gets too hard that you cannot clear, you need to start reading what is happening. which one is the most obnoxious enemy or minion, which boss needs what damage, like are they immune to something. For example, from hell onwards, they start giving you like specific stuff, like okay, you cannot use water anymore, odd, now, because it does more damage, and then if this head over here is going to do damage, this head over here is going to push him up, so maybe you want to kill the head first instead of attacking the boss. Now obviously this doesn't really work well in auto, so you need to find a way to streamline this and have a team that works no matter what. They are going to, if you play auto on this, they are going to automatically focus the head on the left a little bit more, like the auto logic. But the point is, read what the boss is doing. Most of the time you are going to be obliterated if you are not respecting the boss. I would say from Nightmare onwards you should probably start reading, right? At least checking what's happening if you get obliterated. Like, okay, why did I die? What happened? I was doing so well, right? Also, for example, especially the Grim Pursuit bosses are really, really particular. I'm going to do this again. Actually, I'm not. I'll do it later. Now, the Grim Pursuit boss, you get to Nikonana, right? Nikonana Hell is fine, and then the next one is going to be Sharon, which is not locked yet, and Inferno mode only unlocks at level 50. So if you want to clear these bosses, you need to check what they're doing. So for example, the Fabian boss, you are going to fight Phoebe and Fabian, right? Now Phoebe, for example, is going to have completely different things from Fabian. So read, see what they want, and then compile a team. This is important later on. So this might be one of the reasons why maybe you are stubborn and you're using like a character that does a dot, and the enemy doesn't care about dots, or maybe they cleanse themselves constantly and you didn't notice. So this is a kind of an important point. Next point would be the pets. Now the pets, I have seen myself, I've been myself a problem at first. Now I know the pets are so important, it's not even funny. Okay, now these stats over here are added to you, so the higher the pet, the higher the values that you're getting from the pet. Now this is not only one of the reasons why. The other reason is Onslaught and Harvest here. You see like how much this is Twilight Knight is giving me. It could be higher, it could be 3 Harvest. Maybe in the future when we get the red pets. I did get some red pets, so maybe we can check. Do they come with 3? Not yet, maybe in the future, right? And the mythic pets that I got are not that Giga Chad yet, I guess. But as you can see here, especially for PvP, this helps a lot, but this also works obviously wonders for PvE. You don't need to have like Omega speed here, but these stats are added to you. So if you remove the pet, you're gonna have way less speed, way less attack, way less HP. So having a pet level 1 or level 10 purple quality is going to unironically gimp you. You are not going to be able to perform as well because you end up missing a lot. For example, if you have this pet over here, this is maxed out, right? If you are maxed out, well, no, it's not maxed out. I can get him to actual max level, but it doesn't matter. This is just a good example. After a certain point on an epic pet, or the yellow, after you will evolve them enough, I think it's 30 or 40, you get at 30, you get the third slot. So these passive effects are actually pretty huge. So if you go check and empower and do reconfigure, if you click these 3, right, I got 20% HP for Messiah. This is not a joke. This is not like, oh, 1%, who cares? It's not gonna change anything. 20%. If you get the yellow quality, which is the highest one, 12 speed. Out of nowhere, just from the pet bonus, plus what the pet has itself. The best pet for speed is not this one, but I happen to get this one, it's fine. And I got on Assault, which is Animus final damage dealt by 2.5. Now, if you want to see if there is, what effect are they giving you? They give you the lowest one and the highest one. So you can, the highest one is basically the yellow color, if you get it. The lowest one is like the blue color, which is the green or blue color, which is the most the worst, right? And on slot 1 you can only have this amount, these types, so you can re-roll until you get something good for depending on which character you're playing. Shadow Dash can be also 14, so it looks like I didn't. Yellow is not even the craziest one. You can get crit rate, you can get crit damage, and as you can see, these numbers are not negligible anymore. Especially if you get a decently high or mid or high roll. If you get 10% or 12% critical rate, that's the difference between 88 or 90 to 100, right? So this helps a lot, especially early on, because you're not gonna have the best substats. Getting these to kind of fill in is kind of a big deal. Speed, vibrancy, support, shield provider, effect accuracy, which is another huge one, or effect res. If you're doing, you can make a whole new pet just suited for PvP if you want to have some effect res, or if you're using a debuffer or some like a CC user, you want to land those CCs, you can get effect accuracy. And for the third slot, you have a lot of like weirdly, in a good sense, tailored, like specifically tailored bonuses. For example, the elemental bonus for as every single element. We're getting like Reason, Oddity, Hollow, Constancy, and Disorder from 2 to 8, which is actually pretty good. And then we have the Gaze, which is effect accuracy, like specific like special bonuses that can help. And some of these are really good. I didn't get all of them, so I don't know exactly how far they go, but these are really good bonuses from a pet. Imagine if you didn't have this pet, right? So keep that in mind. Having dog shit pets is going to hold you down like for a ridiculous amount. Okay, so be careful and check your pets. Actually go do Grim Pursuit, read the boss what he's doing, and kill them, right? With time, and even if you can't right now, with time, with all the pulls that you get, with all the crystals that you get, you might get new characters that are more suited for different content. But also, besides the 5 stars, you can just go and clear almost everything with SRs, especially like a couple of those, like D-Ting. D-Ting is insane. So like some of these characters are really huge, even though they're free in a sense. The next point would be the gear. The gear is basically the same as the pet. Like if you're neglecting your gear, it's going to be eventually is going to come back to you. Like early on, that's fine. But if you're losing the difference between a crit rate on yellow and a crit rate of a higher value could go from 10 to 20%, even more, right? So this is the max bonus, I would say. So this is a 50% attack bonus, right? If we go and we check another character that has attack bonus, I already lost 7%. From one tier down. Imagine if I forgot and I left a purple one. I don't even know if I have a purple one that has like attack bonus. I would love to show you, but it's really low. So you're gonna miss like 10% here, 15% attack, 20% crit rate, maybe less, like 20% crit damage. And you are going to have a character that technically is built, but when you are actually playing the game, when you go to the stats, they're pretty low, and you go like, oh, well, okay, well, that's why, right? So keep in mind what gear you're using, see if you can combo the gear with the pet and do like maybe onslaught and something else. For example, I had a piece of gear here combo for her, which is the Rosa variant I called, but I changed it. But this basically used a pet that had onslaught and harvest, and with the pet having 3/3 plus the other item that gives you 2 on this slot over here, I had 2 gear sets and I gained full onslaught plus another 10% attack from harvest of the first tier of harvest. So keep in mind, also you could use the replay function to check what other people have done, right? And just copy them if you have the characters, or if you have, for example, okay, I have Dina, but my Dina is dog shit. Why? You can click on them and actually see their stats. What are they running? What are they using? And copy them if you don't know. If you're unsure how to build Dina, it shows you everything, right? It shows you the debuff. It shows like if they're level 1 or not, if they leveled anything, what pet are they using, what pet is, what stats does the pet have, how much speed do they have, you know, stuff like that, which is actually really important and changes completely, because you could be clueless until you check. Okay, like, oh, Gray, okay, so they're not going speed with Gray. Oh, okay, right. You keep that in mind. Obviously, think of by yourself. Like, don't mindlessly copy these people, because you might not have the same characters, the same party that they're doing. But yeah, that's one point. Another very important point is the skill upgrade. I understand that the yellow lattice is extremely expensive, so you don't want to use it. In that case, that's fine. But for certain characters, maybe your main, you like it, or maybe you have all of this lattice and you would like to use it, the yellow one, but you don't know what to do, right? In this case, it's very important to check what your characters are doing, because certain skills are completely dogshit useless and they have the lowest priority, while some other skills are really, really, really important and they change the character dramatically. For example, Rosa passive goes from inflicting having a 70% chance to inflict a Blade Heart Bloom to 100% here, 100%, and then it gets like a higher frequency on this, like a law, you know, like you could read, see what they're doing, and then like, okay, well, I need that. It's even easier if we are talking about a character that is purple, because they use the other one. They use the purple lattice, which you get more of from the hyperlink and events and stuff. For example, Ditting with the passive maxed out is extremely powerful. The crit rate boost conversion becomes 60%, and the excess crit rate is converted at a ratio of 150 instead of 100, I believe. And it goes from 50 to 60, and then the conversion from 100 to 150. So you get more damage by a lot, because then this also changes your gear that you're using. You don't need to use the crit rate anymore as much if you want, because this is literally, I am literally griefing right now. I need to change this because he's using a preset from another character, that's why. I should use a set made for him that is more basic attack bonus, because he's getting 60% from his passive. He is getting 60%. Right, is automatic, by the way. So it's if plus 60, I just need 40%, 40% crit rate, not 93. I'm like extremely grieving. So yeah, keep that in mind. Read what your characters are doing and give them a tailored set, even if it's low quality. At least try to do like the best of both worlds for everything that I just said. Okay, the right stats are really important, which I just mentioned. Very quick point. The right stats means what does your character need? For example, of Ditting, I could be missing a lot of attack. I am missing a lot of attack. I am, because he gets 60% crit rate, so I am like 40% off. I should remove literally one of these for a attack bonus. And this applies for all their characters as well. If there is a character that really wants to, that speeds themselves, and then you don't need speed, for example. I'm making a random example because I don't have a specific one, but if you have a character that has like, that needs to slow down, let's say, right? If you have a character that needs to slow down, or they need to apply debuffs and they want to steal the turn meter. For example, Kloss, Mio, Marvel, or well, Doki. I got Doki yesterday and I couldn't, and I don't have resources to level her up. Imagine that. But yeah, the point is, try to understand which stats are needed for your character. In case of a turn manipulator or a speed manipulator or a debuffer, you need speed. You need to be as fast as possible. There is a good pet for that, which is the little shark. I don't know who has it anymore because I've been swapping teams non-stop. I am so confused. Yeah, this guy, Black Flag, is a Giga Chad. This guy is insane. This is one of the best pets in the game at the moment, where we are right now. There's some insane gods later on. For now, we can't get there. So yeah. Black Flag is really good. It gives you a speed bonus and it gives you the turn meter increased by 12%. You can also give him speed and you can also level him up if it's level 40, which I don't want to do because it's 34k, which is pretty high. It will gain like more stats for you, right? So if you give this pet to somebody, a maxed out pet is going to give you all of those things plus the speed, which is good for whatever the character needs to do. This also helps you in PvP tremendously, by the way. So all of these points can help you also in PvP at the same time. Now, turn manipulation. Turn manipulation is really important because if this is a strat that you could use to clear something, right? This doesn't necessarily work all the time. It works specifically well for other bosses, specifically like Nico Nana, but other bosses you can use it on everybody. You can also use it on Terror Maton. Not really that much on Doki Doki because there is so many. If you don't have AoE, for that AoE constantly, it's not really doing anything. You need to CC the enemies instead of like pushing them back, because Doki Doki is gonna buff them, and there's 2 waves of like 5 monsters, and they also evolve. I mean, you know what Doki Doki does. So yeah, I don't feel like pushing back is gonna be that big of a deal. You're gonna eventually, like, it works immediately, and then you eventually get obliterated later when they get faster and get boosted more. Because you're also gonna have no damage if you're doing full turn manipulation, right? But the concept is to be thought about, because it could be very helpful in clearing something and give you that little edge for that new piece of gear, right? So in that case, turn manipulation just means pushing the boss back as much as you can with characters that have in their kit. Just go read if they have has a chance to steal turn damage. You could potentially give them a pet with a little passive that gives you effect accuracy, just to help even more land that thing. Anybody that has like turn steal or a freeze or anything that blocks them from playing, not only doesn't let them attack and do damage to you, which could open the scenario of not using a healer, which works in Terror Maton, but also means on almost every content actually, unless they purify themselves, this also means that the debuffs don't run out. Think about it. Debuffs, when you have a debuff on the enemy that it says 1, this means 1 turn left, and then they disappear the moment the boss attacks. If you keep pushing the boss back, you will, let's say this is the boss, you will gap him multiple times, and you will always have these characters going before him, like as much as you can, obviously. And every time you attack, you're going to be attacking with this debuff on. The debuff is not going to go down until the boss plays. So if you have like 1 turn left and you push him back, you can play multiple times, doing multiple instances of damage for free with that bonus, with that debuff still there. For example, if you have like a defense bonus, push back, you have Rosa, for example, or you have like any other character, Tsukiyomi, that pushes up, or even the 3-star dude that pushes up. But anybody like Freya that gives speed plus to you and speed down to the enemy, Klaus that gives a bunch of debuff, right? Anything, right? Or Marvel pushes back, or Mio that freezes. I don't know if freezes has a chance to land that high of a chance to land on bosses. Minions, sure, but I don't know about bosses. But at least the turn pushback will work. This is going to be very important. It's going to let you do a lot of damage and potentially clear even without a healer, which means 1 more DPS, right? Or 1 more anything offensive. Now, the last one is damage tuning. Now, the damage tuning is not straightforward, like it's as a concept, right? Damage tuning is be careful if you don't have enough damage because you couldn't be bothered or you didn't want to spend that much resources, right? Think about that. And you are not killing the enemies by just a little bit. You're doing like Messiah ult, or Real Mocha does the bam bam bam, and it doesn't. They don't die. Now everybody else goes after, right? And their cooldowns are refreshed at this point, or maybe they didn't get to act yet because you're so powerful, but not enough. So now you have to waste a bunch of skills on the first phase that had 1 HP. This means that you are going to go on the next phase with 0 skills up, which in the case of turn manipulators or healers of characters like that, especially in auto, which is at the end of the day, that's what you want to do. You want to play auto. You want to like leave something in background. In that case, you are fucking up a lot because you are messing up the turn order. You're messing up the turn up time. So if you notice, like pay attention when you're clearing yourself the first time, pay attention, what are you doing, and like what are the other characters? Are they about to do something? Oh, whoa, the guy just wasted his ultimate of like pushing back everybody. They just used it, Marvel ult for example. He just used it to try to kill one mob that was left alive, or maybe the boss has 1 HP and Marvel doesn't do damage, so his damage wasn't enough. Not only it wasn't enough, but he did the ult on it. So okay, now I don't have the ult for the next phase, for the next mob, right, or for the next boss. So this is something that you should try to remember. This is a little more technical, a little more like min-maxy, but at the end of the day, all of these points that I've talked about today are very important, and even though by themselves they seem like not that important, together they become not negligible anymore, and you are actually seeing like a lot of drop in your power, in your general power, right? And that's why you are not clearing. So this is it for the video. Let me know what you think in the comments, or come ask me live at twitch.tv/Jakazin. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.